Why use a smartboard? What are the benefits of using a smartboard? Well, it's interactive. It has access to multimedia resources. It engages students with special learning needs. It creates a community of cooperative learning. And it assists teachers in the classroom and benefits assessment. Being an art teacher, I would like to share with you ideas for using a smartboard in your classroom. Ten ways to use a smartboard in an art classroom. Number 1, create an artist match game. The object is to choose one of the multiple choices displayed next to a famous piece of art or a selection of art that may have been discussed in class. Using a smartboard pen, the student will select the correct answer. This is a great exercise in review or class assessment. The game is interactive and the students are engaged. And the activity might be a great filler for end-of-the-year engagements. Number 2, create a game where you try to look for elements and principles. Here the object is to choose as many options that are listed next to a famous piece of art discussed in class. In most cases, there is always more than one element or principle in a piece of artwork. Give it a try. In this piece of artwork by Marc Chagall, I in the Village, among the elements you can find line, shape, color, texture, and space. Among the principles you can find unity, balance, contrast, and scale. This is also a great exercise in review or class assessment. The game is interactive and the students are engaged. And the activity is great to incorporate the New York State standards in the visual arts. Idea 3, create an artist of the day. Whenever an opportunity presents itself, it would be a great time to introduce students to different artists. The artist of the day would be an occasion to view artists who engage in painting, sculpture, architecture, film, or even installation art. There are so many resources available on the internet. Here's an example of a contemporary artist, Momi Adiato, and his Return to the Sea Saltworks series.
Japanese artist Motoi Yamamoto is something of a magician. Although he does not utilize sleight of hand, he creates installations that encourage the mind to travel between astonishment and wonder. His medium is salt, yet the effect of his labors is transcendence. He uses salt to create mental maps, miniatures of the mind. Yet in his case, he doesn't seem to choose material merely for the sake of novelty or originality. Yamamoto's artistic trajectory is full of innovations and surprises. His ability to adapt his concepts to the various configurations and idiosyncrasies of the galleries and exhibition spaces that have displayed his work serves as a source of inspiration.
最近こういうレースのようなちっちゃな泡のようなそういう作品を作っている理由っていうのは、迷宮という作品を長く作ってたんですけど、迷宮と同じ意味を持つ形をずっと探していて、それが文学っていうことが分かったから。
A fourth idea to use a smartboard in a classroom would be create a timeline or agenda. An art room may have up to 6 different lessons with 6 different agendas. A smartboard timeline or calendar may be posted for each class that is in session. The timeline can keep each student up to date as well as benefiting those who might be absent and need to catch up. Here is an example of a calendar that's been posted with a timeline for a studio and art class. Idea 5. Create how-to videos on your Smartboard. How-to videos would be a great resource for classrooms using an inquiry-based approach. This video coming up was taken from an actual demo performed on AM Buffalo with yours truly, giving the how-to on marbleizing paper.
You're going to be actually working on these little sailboats with the kids, and the kids are going to make the sail.
Yes, so we're going to be actually creating the whole vessel itself. The kids will be working in different tents. One tent they'll be sanding, sawing, and drilling. They'll be creating the ropes that pull the vessel.
Isn't that great? Look at that. That's wonderful. So make sure, everybody, when you're going to the fest, you give yourself enough time for the kids to get through one of these projects.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And then we'll be doing the marbleizing. Shall I go ahead
I would love to
demonstrate
see that.
this?
Yes.
Well, I'll be working at the Silly Cool tent. And the reason why we call it Silly Cool is because we're working with very unique materials. We're going to be working with shaving cream, liquid watercolors, combs, and even some chopsticks.
Hey, what kid would love this?
Right. So the way we're going to get started is we're going to take our shaving cream and we're going to spray out a little pile right here.
And I like how you're just using one of the sterilite lids.
Yes.
Just to work on. These little plastic lids that you might have for a little tote bag or tote box at
you
home.
can, and if you're at home too, you can also use a cookie sheet.
Oh, okay.
If you can't make it out to the festival, by all means, you can try this at home.
Okay.
So you just squirt out a little bit of shaving cream, and you're going to spread it with a palette knife. But if you don't have a palette knife at home, you can use a regular old credit card.
Yeah, okay.
So, and spread that out, and you're going to feel like you're frosting a cake.
Yeah. Oh, kids are going to love this.
Yes.
And you're going to have
Very
great
much
weather for this, too.
Very much so. So you spread this out thin, and then once you get it spread out, just spread out to the corners here. You're going to take some paint and you're going to drop it on top of the shaving cream.
All right.
So you're just going to
Squirt
a couple of different colors on top, just randomly. And I like to put at least 2 or 3 different colors because that's where you're going to get that marbleized effect. And we'll use some.
The kids are going to
that's
love this.
blue as
Ellie,
well.
how many kids do you think will actually be there at any one time?
It's been mentioned that almost about 4,000 kids come through
fun
each
is this
year.
gonna be for
It's
kids?
a lot.
Oh, this
So
is
what you're
great.
going to do is you're going to take your comb and you're going to gently swipe those colors around on the shaving cream, and that just moves around.
Oh, that is so pretty.
And then you can also use the chopsticks, and the chopsticks you can make swirls. And you can swirl the colors around.
And needless to say, every one will be unique.
Right, definitely. So I'm just going to finish this up here.
Yeah, please, I'd like to see where we're going with this. This is so
And then you're going to
cute.
take just a sheet of paper. Any type of paper will work. And then you just lay it down and you gently press.
I've never seen anything like this before.
And then you just peel it off. Now, there's a lot of shaving cream on it, so I'm going over here. And I have another tote right here, lid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a palette knife, and I'm just going to scrape off that shaving cream.
And you're going to do all this with the kids?
Yes.
Look at that.
We have so many volunteers and helpers that are there to assist the children, and we like to see the parents get involved too.
I had no idea that the paint or the coloring would go right through the shaving cream. And
Definitely, and it's beautiful.
And you can see it right on the. That's amazing. That's really cool.
And you can do this at home too with food coloring. You don't have to use the liquid watercolor paints, but you get nice vivid colors. You can use any type of paper. It works.
And actually, the end result is the sail for your boat.
Right, right.
That's pretty cool.
Would you like to try?
Yeah, I'd like to try.
Okay.
Tell me where this tent is for the kids too.
This will be located in the Kid Fest area, which is right next to the Lexington Co-op.
Okay.
It's in that little alcove.
All right.
Smartboard idea number 6, interactive art galleries. Using a smartboard, a classroom would have great access to countless websites and galleries providing valuable information and works of art. This interactive art gallery is hosted by Google Art Project. Using an interactive art gallery, students can see countless images of famous works of art from around the world zooming in so close you can see the painter's brushstrokes. Close-up views are spectacular. Using the Smartboard gives students who would not have the opportunity to travel to large art galleries a close-up experience right in the classroom. Some may call this the distant learner approach, which works for those who require special needs. Option 7. Pinterest boards. Pinterest is a virtual bulletin board system. Pinterest can be used to store images, resources, how-to guides, DIY projects, and so much more. In the classroom, the Smartboard might be set up to display Pinterest for students wishing to search for ideas and resources. Utilizing this technology, each class could have its own board, and each project would have its own board with resources. Using a Smartboard in a classroom, you can create interactive classroom maps. Creating an interactive classroom map, the Smartboard becomes a virtual bulletin board for materials needed in the classroom. An interactive classroom map could be available for students to help themselves looking for or finding art supplies. A list of supplies would be posted on the side of a map, and the student could select one of those items, and that map would then light up with the item to be found. For instance, oil pastels. Using an interactive map would have the students responsible for their own supplies, while freeing up time for the teacher to assist students rather than being interrupted frequently. Another benefit for an interactive classroom map could be to assist substitute teachers who may not be familiar with the classroom. A Smartboard in the classroom may also be a great tool for instructional drawing. The Smartboard can be used as a drawing board for instructional-based lessons. The teacher can demonstrate and have students come up to the board and try it themselves. Contour line drawing is a great lesson to establish eye and hand coordination. Elizabeth Leighton was a famous artist who mastered contour line drawing. Elizabeth Leighton said, "In the beginning, I drew myself as someone who was ugly, but I don't see myself that way anymore. Now, I draw someone who is beautiful." Using the Smartboard, you can demonstrate the process of contour line drawing, and then have your students try it. And finally, art films are a great way to use a Smartboard in an art room class setting. Art films are a great resource to supplement a lesson or art theme. They are valuable when emergency plans need to be implemented or substitute lessons are required. And films are a great asset to inspire ideas and creativity, such as Between the Folds. This film, Between the Folds, is a great documentary. The film can be incorporated into a lesson theme of ideas around papermaking, aesthetics, and how art is much more than visual representations and ideas. Art encompasses math, science, philosophy, and so much more.
What do you see when you look at a piece of paper? For most of us, we see numbers, pictures, words, maybe a good story if we're lucky. It's said that when Michelangelo stood before a block of marble, he could already see his statue waiting inside. Some might even say it was there all along. In a way, the same idea can describe paper folders. People who look at paper and see the makings of almost anything they can dream up in just a single square. There's sculptors and scientists working in the shadows between art and math, like alchemists bringing beauty to the mundane.
I think at heart, one of the things that makes us human, that's both our strength and our weakness, is a need to change things. It's also the heart of the appeal of origami, exploring the surprising magic of just how far you can change that square only by folding.
The rules are simple and intensify the challenge. One square transformed by folding. No scissors, no tape, no glue.
I hope I have given you some great ideas to incorporate new technology in your art classroom using your Smartboard.